Welcome to part 2 of how to build project 3, the package. What we're going to do is start populating our package. We got a few things in place, but most of the stuff that has to go on the back and these kinds of things isn't there yet. So I'm sharing my screen. We're going to go back into Illustrator right there. And what I've got is my package kind of built. What I did was put a couple of layers on the base layer right there. And one has my hexagon pattern in it that I made. One has just a gradient fill, and it gives it kind of a cool look. The other thing is I made a little piece of type here, avocado ketchup, and I did the trick that we did in class where you put the stroke underneath the fill in the appearance menu. So you know both of those things. Hopefully that's clear and fun. What I want to do now though is go back here and look at project 3, my resources here, week 12, project 3 resources, and there's a whole bunch of stuff in here that I'm supposed to know. Like nutrition facts have to be done a certain way. Hey, look, there's a nutrition label generator. Brilliant. So if I click on that, it'll take me to this guy and says, what would you like to do? I'm going to use the new one. Yes. I'm going to use the most basic nutrition label. I'm making candy. It's not complicated. And what I'm going to do is start making up nonsense like how many servings are there in my package? There's going to be 7 servings in there, and there's going to be 2 serving size quantity. And the weight is 42 because that's the answer to the universe and everything. And it's going to come in globs. That's how I'm going to serve it, and it goes in grams. Sure. So you see what I mean? I'm making nonsense up. It's 1,200 calories per serving. It's got 9 fat and 8 cholesterol and 5 this and 6 that. I'm just going to make up a bunch of nonsense. I don't care. I'm not going to mark you on any of this stuff. I just want you to get the idea of how this works. So once you put it all in there, protein, grams, nothing. And then I say generate. So what it does is gives me a label right here. All the information I put in there, 2 globs, 7 servings per container, all that stuff's in there, and I can either download the PDF or download an image. The PDF gives me a file that I can use that is vector. The download image gives me a raster file. Me, myself, I prefer vector because we're working in Illustrator. So I'm going to download the PDF, and I give it some nonsense email address like mine, and I say, sure, sign me up. And it says, there you go. So what I've got now is this PDF, and I'm going to save it in Acrobat as my nutrition label, number 5. I've done this once or twice. Sure, replace that one, I don't care. And then what I'm going to do is come back here to Illustrator and open, Command O, open in Downloads, nutrition label number 5. Nutrition label number 5. This should be a song. I already passed it. There we go. Right there. Because it's PDF, I can open things like that in Illustrator. However, it's real typefaces, which is cool. But I don't happen to have Franklin Gothic Heavy. You see what's going on here. It says in my note here that I've got Franklin Gothic in here. I don't have any of that stuff. So what I'm going to do is grab that typeface and switch that over here to something that I know is legal, like not hobo. That would be wrong. That would be very wrong. Funny, but wrong. How about Arial Black? Great. Hangs way over. So that's another thing I'm going to fix right here. Inside my character menu, there is my tracking number right there. I can come back in here and say make that minus 25, minus 10. Minus 25 looks about right. So I'm going to keep that. So now I've got a nutrition label that I can use. Select all, copy, switch back to my switch back to my package, and then paste that in. I'm going to go to group that right away just to make sure it doesn't start, pieces of it start marching around. And then I'm going to use that to populate the back of my package. You might note, those of you who are keeping score at home, that it doesn't come with a white fill. I'm going to put that on there. By the way, here I am. I'm on my type and art layer. That's where I put it. I want all my type and art to be on one layer. So I'm going to come back here, get a rectangle tool, and put a rectangle of, yeah, that's what I want. No stroke, white fill. In behind that, white fill. And because it's on that layer, I can send that to the back and it lines up just like that. What I'll probably do is build my entire back right side up. And then as you notice in the final, it flips upside down so that the back of the package works in the same kind of rotation as the front. So there's my nutrition facts. Also it says in here that I'm supposed to, P3 packaging, I'm supposed to have a UPC code. And so in my econ, if you found yourself there, if I could see what I'm doing without having to climb through Zoom in order to get where I need to go. Wow. Okay, there we are. So there's that. I've also got ingredients. There's a list of how ingredients are supposed to be typeset. You can click on that and read it for yourself. I'll also quickly show you the UPC code generator. It doesn't like to live inside Econ. So what we'll do is come back here, packaging resources, and open that separately as, if I hold down my control key, I get a chance to say open this in a new window, and warp, there's the new window. We're using UPC-A, this guy right down here. EAN gets used in Europe, not so much in North America. A lot of these others get used for various things. You could do a whole doctoral thesis if you wanted to on how UPC codes get used. And here you just need random numbers. Again, I'm not checking you on these things. I just want you to know this exists and how you might want to go back and generate one. So I hit download right here. It doesn't give me a choice. It says, no, you have to put that in barcode format, and it's going to come in as a GIF. So I can just go to my package, whoop, and say file, place, and come back in here and look for barcode. There, barcode. So there's a barcode that I can grab and park in there and place that on there as well. I'll probably have to shrink that. It has to be, I think, 1.5 inches, I think is what it has to be. There's some format, but anyway, I can make it a certain size and it will still work. So fool around with those multiple things. Stop that. And get yourself a package that kind of feels like it's got all the nuts and bolts on it. I did give you a couple of links in there. Go look at the Lemonheads package, see what they used. Go look at the Nerds, the Gummy Nerds packages. Look at some other candy to go, this would be cool if I had this on here, if I had this on here. So add in some more stuff and have a lot of fun with this thing. Hopefully that gives you enough information to go, I know how to do project 3. Let's not get ahead of or behind ourselves. We know how to do this now. On track, man. See ya.